Hey y'all, American Scream here, and I thought this would be an interesting video to kind of just make a little bit of commentary on. What we have here is the CEO of crypto exchange Coinflex, who has engaged in what has to be one of the most desperate pleas that is just so gratuitously grift-like. And of course, Bloomberg is just happily promoting this scheme, and let's let's just get into it, shall we?
What does this token actually represent? Who is it making whole? How is it making them whole? And what happens if you can't raise that money?
Yeah, sure. So at Coinflex, fundamentally, we believe in markets, transparency, and tokenization. So we've done that with one of our other products, FlexUSD. It's on markets. It's funding a market, our repo market, and it's a token. And we're doing that again here with the recovery value USD, so rvUSD.
So rvUSD. What exactly is rvUSD? It's a coin that they've pulled out of their ass that they want to use to help bail somebody out, some super big whale that they ran an unsecured loan of $47 million on, and now they can't pay it back, but they want you to pay it back. So rather than just ask for somebody to give them money because somebody else won't pay them, they've decided to create this token, effectively just doubling down on this whole notion they have about crypto and leveraging and all that kind of stuff. It's just completely absurd. Coinflex is basically just another one of these crypto exchanges that is a DeFi fintech staking platform where you put your crypto up there and they lend it out, and they promise you a bunch of returns. Of course, the returns are being paid in crypto too, so there's not real money until you try to cash out. That's when you run into problems like this, where they don't have enough money to cash people out. But this is what makes this special is just their gratuitous attempt to, rather than admit that they're insolvent, to fold it into another version of the same Ponzi scheme. Let's just listen to this guy weasel around, desperately trying to kind of whitewash what's really going on.
It's a way for us to use tokenization to solve this problem, where we have this asset, which is it's an ultra high net worth individual. They owe us these funds. We do believe.
Who do you think this guy is? He must be a principal within the organization. They're not going to name him, so he's a benefactor or somebody. But watch how many times they talk about how important transparency is, but they're not going to tell you who this deadbeat client of theirs, or probably partner, or probably, development associate. Probably, maybe it's him. Maybe he's it. There's some rumors that say RV stands for Roger Ver, who's the big Bitcoin Cash guy. But it's all about transparency, but they're not going to tell you who they want you to bail out.
That they're going to get us these funds at some point in the future. And we wanted
at some point in the future
make it such that the assets all match up and everything matches up in a way where it's a market-based, and we pass on this risk to investors that understand what the risk is.
All right, we pass on this risk to investors who understand what the risk is. The risk is you'd be absolutely out of your mind to buy these tokens. You're basically trying to pay off somebody who made poor business decisions by dealing with somebody else who made poor business decisions. So they just want you to kind of take this over.
And are eager for this risk and basically solve the problem. Right now, we can't have withdrawals. There are lots of different ways of solving these problems.
Yeah, so they can't have withdrawals because they're out of money. That's the nice way of saying they have no liquidity, they're out of money. But if you give them $47 million, then they'll be able to allow withdrawals again. Now, here's the thing that the guy doesn't mention. If you buy these tokens, they're promising you like a 20% return on those tokens. Where does that money come from? They're not solving any problem. They're just pushing it down the road another 30 days or so.
In crypto finance. And crypto generally is on the cutting edge of finance. And one of the ways that hasn't been as successful in the past is when companies put their head in the sand or refuse to communicate or go hide behind the excuse of lawyers. rather than treating lawyers as advisors and consigliaries
Yeah, he doesn't seem desperate,
in
does
creating
he?
solutions that resolve the problem extremely quickly, and also in a way where more people get to participate in the solution.
Oh, that's
Mark,
it?
assuming
More people
that
get to buy this guy's
this
bad
does
debt.
work, that you're able to raise this token and withdrawals do begin again on June 30th, are you afraid that you will face a run on the bank in that kind of a scenario?
We're not worried about that scenario because upon this fundraise being concluded, everyone can withdraw. And
Everything will
so
be happily-
we want
everything
everything
live
to be
happily
always
ever
matched
after.
at all times. And in situations where that isn't, we have to intervene, we have to do these things. We are going forward, we're going to take even further steps on making every aspect of the exchange transparent, including the futures positions, the notional value, not the specific coin, but the notional value of every account's positions public via an external auditing firm, and also the margin backing those positions. And we think that
So this is a great idea. They've decided they want to be more transparent. They've decided that they want to maybe even involve an actual audit from somebody. This is great considering that they formed their company in 2019 and they're 3 years into it, and now they're insolvent. And now they're suddenly letting us know, hey, it's part of our whole DNA that we want to be transparent. I mean, this is why we have this issue with crypto people. It's not like they're getting, really well hoodwinked. It's like, how could you even fall for this stuff?
ultimately that's in line with our ethos from day one. We've wanted everything to be market-based,
Since day one,
transparent,
except
and
you're 3
tokenized.
years late to it, dude.
What's your longer term plan, Mark, to make sure that if we experience this kind of volatility in the market again, and certainly the crypto market will experience this volatility again, it is a volatile market, that this won't happen, that it all doesn't come down to or depend on one individual?
Yeah, so part of the issue here was, and this is common practice in crypto, and really it originates from traditional finance, but we had a customer on a personal recourse-based non-liquidation account. We will be eliminating that type of account. We will also be making these positions public, and you won't just have to take our word for it. We have an auditing firm that we're going to be working with to have them publish this data.
Yeah, I don't seem to remember the last time a bank just contacted me and said, yeah, we lent some guy we can't tell you too much money, so therefore we'd like you to give us more money to cover their losses. I've never seen that happen to me.
And this is much needed data in futures. There isn't a single crypto futures exchange in the world, including here in the US, that makes this data public around position sizes and the margin ratios, margin balances, and collateral
This
backing
kind of
those
reminds me
positions.
of
And it is one of those things where
the guy who just drank way too much and is feeling like he's gonna die. So now he's like trying to get over this massive sickness of alcohol or drugs or whatever he's done, and he's praying to God. He's like, God, look, I promise, I'll never drink again. I promise if you just get me through this night. This is the fintech version of that. It's like, look, I promise if you just solve this one liquidity crisis, we'll hire an auditing firm. We'll promise we will not make any more bad, stupid things. Just let us get through this night. Jesus, Lord, help us.
there's a balance between transparency and privacy. Right now in DeFi, they've set the standard in terms of transparency, and we need to do at least as good as, if not much better than, DeFi with respect to transparency so that depositors and users can feel comfortable trading. It has a damage to privacy, but we think that traders are going to find that worthwhile for the additional comfort that they get from knowing the risk and the leverage implicit in the system.
So what's your message to customers right now? What's the level of confidence, your level of confidence, that in the 3 days between now and June 30th, you're going to make that date?
Yeah, I'm highly confident. We have spoken to people nonstop on phone calls and in-person meetings since this issue arose, and we have more than half of the amount needed in soft commitments to get this done. And so I'm highly confident that there's strong appetite from within the crypto space and also in the broader institutional space in this type of token. We're turning a problem into an opportunity.
You got 3 days,
and we're also
it's not going to happen.
We're also turning that into an opportunity that gets resolution very, very quickly. This is something where,
and actually,
at the end of this offering,
that's bullshit.
The
even if 47 million people bought this token and covered that debt, you're still promising the people that bought those tokens that they're going to see a 20% return. Where is that 20% coming from? See, this is all bullshit.
The problem is solved within a matter of days. This is something that's been done before in crypto's history, and it's been extremely successful when it's been done before in crypto.
What kind of pressure do you feel to reveal more details about who this investor is who couldn't meet the margin calls initially, especially when this new token is tied to their fortunes? The people who will be investing in this new token are doing it to make this other investor that they don't know whole.
Yeah, that's a great question. And look, I think the market is always going to demand more and more transparency. So we're going to be revealing as much information as we can as we're able to reveal that information. At this point, this is what we can give. And we wanted to very, very quickly be fully transparent about what happened, how we're resolving it, and our plan going forward to protect customers and be fully transparent to customers about all the leverage in the system and how it's collateralized.
So, I'm working on this documentary on blockchain, and I swear the industry is just unraveling at such a rapid pace. I cannot include all of the content and all of the crazy claims and all of the bullshit that is just coming out, but I feel like I still have to acknowledge this. People are still falling for this, so this is why we need to just be diligent and continue to keep pushing to make people aware that this whole industry is 99.9% fraud. So let's watch what happens. This is going to be a couple of days. This guy thinks he can raise 47 million. He's got soft commitments. And random people are going to buy the other people's debt because I guess, if they were stupid enough to buy into the Ponzi scheme first time, second time, maybe not a third. Why not a third time? Hey, go with what works.